Dr. Daniel Mwangi. I'm the manager bull health and in charge of taking care of the health of the bulls to make sure that the farmers get disease-free germplasm. So in Kagrik we have 6 breeds, the 4 dairy breeds and 1 dual purpose and 1 beef. So we are going to go through all the breeds in a brief. The first 2 bulls you can see here, these are Holstein Friesian. The Holstein Friesian is known for high milk production and also the big frames. They are more susceptible to some diseases, especially the tick-borne. So the farmer needs to be keen on the maintenance. The other thing is that they produce a lot of milk, but they have lower butter fat content. So you have to compensate. The more the milk there, the lower the components. They are also very good. They have very good fertility levels. And for Kagrik, you have seen even daughters from these bulls producing up to 50 liters. Next to the Friesians, we have the Ashers. In this place, we have variation of 2 Ashers. We have the Finnish type and the Canadian type. The Finnish Ashers are usually dark tan. They are all brown with very few white coloration on the skin. The other one is the Canadian. The Finnish Ashers tend to produce better. They have more longevity compared to the others because they are more of the grazing type. But if you can see, there are 2 variations. This one is dark brown and a few white, and the other one has between dark brown and white compared. The typical Asher. That one has the typical Asher characteristics. This one is more, farmers might confuse and may not know. These ones have a better butter fat content compared to the Friesians. Moderate milk production, but the only difference is about 300 to 600 liters in a lactation period of 3 or 5 days. Next to the Ashers are the Ganses. I think people can be able to see the variation of the colors. That one is light brown, this one is dark brown. And also the Ganses tend to be bigger compared to the Ashers. So the Ganses, we don't have a lot of Ganse bulls at the station because the Ganse is almost a dying breed at the moment. The farmers who are keeping the Ganses is because of their milk. There's a lot of beta casein, so most of the farmers who are keeping the Ganses are because of the milk, and also the color. It produces almost yellowish, almost the color of the skin that they have. They are very good animals, very docile compared to the Ashers. Also very good milk production and the longevity. They stay longer in the farm compared to all the others. Next is the Jersey. The Jerseys, we have very few farmers at the moment keeping Jerseys, and most of them are doing it for milk value addition. They are making cheese, ghee, and also they are selling whole milk as a premium. So the Jerseys, they are the smallest breed, dairy breed. They produce moderate milk production, but very high in components, especially the butter fat. That's why you'll get more butter and cheese compared from the Jerseys compared from what you'll get from the Friesians. The best thing with the Jerseys is very adaptable. It can stay in the farm. You can see it's very short. So at the end of the day, you have very few conditions of the hoof, very few conditions on fertility, and they mature faster compared to the others because they get to the maturity weight. Being the small stature, they get to the maturity weight faster compared to all these other breeds that we have, the other dairy breeds. Very adaptable, but they're also very aggressive, especially the bulls. So these 2 bulls are of the Saiwo breed. These are dual-purpose breed, meaning that it can produce both milk and meat. Not a lot of milk, but not a lot of meat. It compromises between the 2. For the dairy, they compromise on meat quality, they produce milk. This one has a compromise of both. It will produce very good quality milk. Milk almost compared the same as the Jerseys, very good butter fat content. Very disease tolerant, it has a lot of tolerance on diseases. Very rare you get it getting sick. Even the bulls in the station, it's very rare you get us treating these bulls. Very high disease tolerance, especially the tick-borne diseases. And also it's very good for the arsal areas, arid and semi-arid areas. At the moment, most of the Saiwos are in Narok and Kajiado areas, and some are going up to 12-14 liters in a day, which is very good for a moderate farmer with no supplementation. Next to the Saiwo is the Boran. This is a purely beef breed and produces some of the best carcasses in Kenya. And Kenya has the biggest population of Borans. As you can look, the bone to muscle ratio is higher compared to all the other breeds you have seen. So this one is only suited for meat production, beef production only. At around 2 years, you can get a weight of around 450 kgs. And it's more common in ranches in Laikipia. A lot of ranches in Laikipia are keeping the Borans. And they are doing it because of the feed conversion efficiency. They can be able to get the low quality grass and convert it into meat very fast. This is the semen collection area. This is where we collect the semen. The teasers are usually tethered to these ones as you have seen through as the process was going on. Yeah, so we collect semen every day of the week, Monday to Friday, and each bull collects semen once in a week, at least 2 to 3 ejaculates. It lasts very few seconds, and the more you tease the bull, the better the quality of the semen. But teasing is also dependent on the age. For the very old bulls, we don't allow too much teasing because they get frustrated. After we collect the semen is brought to the lab for quality assurance or evaluation. The first stage is where at the microscopy stage. This is where we evaluate the mass motility of the semen and also the progressive motility of the semen. So the first thing we do is assess the mass motility. Then you also get the progressive motility. The progressive motility is the one that will help us to know the viability of the semen. This is also what we call a computer-aided semen analyzer, or the CASA. This one is a more computerized system. This one will give you more results compared to this one. This one is done by a vet who sits here, records all the semen that is brought in this card, and this card will always record the ejaculate A, B, or C. A is the first one, B is the second one, C is the third one, the time of collection, and the volume produced. The next stage is where we are going to extend the semen. We use a freezing medium or a semen extender. This one is the one that provides the same environment that the semen was getting when it was in the testicles. That is, it provides the ions, provides the buffers, provides the food, everything. So it has carbohydrates, it has ions to control the osmotic pressure, it has also buffers to control the pH. So the semen gets the same thing it was getting the testes. So this is a freezing media. And this is also the media that helps us to freeze the semen up to negative 196. So this, according to the volume that was calculated there, the calculated volume is added here, and the semen is put in a water bath, like this one. So this is the extended semen, as you can see. You can see maybe it was around 6 ml, but now it will be almost 160 ml after you add the diluent. So this one is the extended semen, then it's put in a water bath at the same temperature at 37. The water is usually at 37, and then it's taken to the cold room. As my colleague has told you, we maintain the temperature from the microscope up to the end where we put the water bath at around 36 to 37 degrees. So once the semen has been put into the water bath, it's taken to the cold room. This is the filling machine. It's called the MX4 machine. Fills 4 straws at a time, a 4x4x4 system. So on this side that's where we put the semen, and on this side, this is where we have the suction. It is like the syringe system. This one gives the suction, and this one it goes into the straws. The straws are 0.25 ml. They are usually labeled. So as you can see how it's arranged here. So I'll demonstrate how the machine feels. As you can see, the machine does 4x4. 4x4. You can see there are 4 straws at any one time. It does the filling and seals from here. Then the printer, this one does the printing.